Hey everyone, welcome to another Let's Paint with Jay. So grab a brush and some paints and paint along with me as I ramble about life, love, pursuit of happiness, and what I'm doing so far. So, as I mentioned, this is Necron-vember painting challenge. I ended up painting 17 the scarab swarms. So they're all painted and they're now in the studio, ready to be filmed for battle reports. But right now I'm tackling my next goal, which is going to be a lot of Necron warriors. This is going to be my color scheme, I've decided. And Rubik's running around. He'll be noisy as always because he likes to do that. So yeah, so today I'm going to be painting a bunch of warriors. So let's get to that. So, as you can see, look at that one. Tons of warriors. So let's get back to painting. Now, as I said, this is my color scheme. Put that on here. So here's my color scheme. Let's zoom in. It's not too original, but not too, it's not three color minimum. It has some colors. So glowing eyes. So all I'm doing is I primed it using plate metal primer from plate mail metal, sorry, from Army Painter. And then I'm doing golds, greens, black, dip, using the Army Painter dips, and then some simple gray basing. And that's it. Because they're Necron warriors, they're getting some love. It looks good in the end, has some detail. And it's not 3 color minimum, so can't complain there. So these guys all have their green. So let's start on the black areas then, because black should go then before the greens. Just that center piece right there. And then we'll I don't know if I'll show the dipping. We'll see. I'll just get I basically have to do like 5 or 6 of these guys a day to keep on my my painting challenge, which is good. But as I said, Necrons are much easier to paint than orcs because I'm only using 4 colors. Well, technically like 5 because I'm highlighting up the greens and stuff, but not really. So I'm only using very minimal amount of colors, and warriors are worth many more points than orcs. Each warrior is worth more than 2 orc boys. Well, Slugga-Choppa boys. They're basically equivalent of a Slugga-Choppa plus a Shooter boy. So less time painting, more points. That's good. So I'm estimating probably by the end of this painting challenge, I'll have probably just over 3,000 points of Necrons, which is a pretty good starter size of an army, Well, it's painted. 3,000 painted points of Necrons, which is, as I said, pretty good. So his center part is painted, and so now with the gun, and yeah, so that's good. That's not a bad size, and people are gonna be happy with the another army. So another army means less repetition in matches. If I have 6 studio armies, right now I have 4, but I'm adding this 5th, and I'm thinking I might add 1 more, but the one I'm adding is going to be, I'm not going to talk about it right now. Well, technically I do have Space Marines here and Space Wolves, so I'll add them eventually. By the way, this week's painting tutorial for the Warp was Lysander, so he's pretty cool. And I've been doing a series of videos called Face Off, where you put 2 guys against each other, usually HQs, and see who will win in close combat. It is kind of similar. It's very similar to Who Will Win by Mini Wargaming, but I started Face Off before Mini Wargaming put out their first video, so I'm not copying them or anything. And it's been cool. And Lysander is now involved, so this week's was Lysander versus Abaddon. And I'm not going to reveal the winner. That was cool. What else? It's been an interesting week. You know what? This week I've gotten a lot of flack about my battle reports. And so maybe the quality's gone down. I don't think so. I think as each battle report I honestly put my heart into, and I try to make it the best it can be. I know people aren't the biggest fans of the J versus J battle reports, and I'm fixing that. I am really fixing that in the sense that I'm finding opponents. I had an opponent last week. He was a really awesome guy named Doug. And he was in the latest battle report, Dark Angels versus Orcs. And next week I have 2 opponents lined up. I was supposed to have one this week, but it just got deferred a week. So I have 2 opponents next week, and I'm going to hopefully film 4 battle reports. So that will take up the next 2 to 4 weeks, depending on if I want to put them for free, all for free, or some in the warp as well. Usually, because rarely I like face-off right now in the warp, so I like doing face-off. Face-off's been a lot of fun. It's not as you know, epic as you know, a whole battle report, but I make it fun. Like I put in stop motion, a little bit of stop motion, some fun sounds. Each character has an accent. I make it interesting. I think people like it. So I'm not. This is not just an ad for the warp. I just want to talk to you guys about what's going on. So that's the next. You know. So that'll be next week. But next Tuesday, I don't have a battle report opponent filmed yet. So there will probably be a J versus J battle report. And so basically here, let's talk about the future. Well, I'm going to talk. You guys will listen because I'm ranting. I'm going to talk about the future of J versus J and just battle reports in general. Am I going to continue to make J versus J battle reports? Yes, I am. And I understand some people don't like it. And that's okay. You know what? Not every video I know. I'm a YouTuber. I've been making videos for many years. Or many being like 4. And I know that not every video I put my heart and soul into will be liked by people. But in the end, I know that a J versus J battle report is better than no battle report. And those who don't want to watch a J versus J battle report don't have to watch it. You know, maybe I should label it or something, like J versus J or non-J versus J or something. The easiest way to tell is if you wait a few minutes and just look at the post-game. You know, the image of the post-game, I don't put a thumbnail on it. So the post-game will either have me standing in front of, well, technically the old games where I was playing my wife, or if my opponent doesn't want to be on camera, it'll just be me. But technically most of the time, lately, if it's just me, it's a J versus J. And if it's not just me, if I'm standing with a person, obviously, it's not a J versus J. You know, and people still watch them. You know, the J versus J battle reports still get thousands of views, and they get rated pretty well. And you know, that's it. I think some people like them, some people don't, and obviously my goal is to find opponents, and I've been doing that actually. As I said, I found 4 opponents so far. The next 3 weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to have some opponents, so that's good. And that's just the start. I'm very, very confident that over time, the number of J versus J battle reports will very much decrease because I'm going to be filming so many battle reports with real people. Because J is a phony. No kidding. Just because, me versus me barely counts. So, that's good, And the second thing I've been getting a lot of flack on is the rules. Now, obviously, I do make rule mistakes. I try to make the best battle report I can, right? I really do. And I don't try to make mistakes, but mistakes happen, and that's the thing, I play several codices, perhaps not amazingly well, but I play them. Sorry, I'm just going to stand up on the camera for a second. And I know people expect me, it's my job, so I should know the rules. So I should know the rules, but I do know most of them, and in each battle report, there are obviously mistakes made, and I know that lately the Dark Angels have been getting a blunt of them. Just when people say my strategy is not sound, or that's strategy, it's not rules, right? And in the latest battle report, there were some rules made wrong. You know what? As I said, the only squad we really got wrong was the Dark Angel Knights, the Deathwing Knights. And I don't play them. And that's no excuse, I know, but I should know the codex. It's one of the codexes I play, but I've never used that unit in battle reports, and I just, I forgot to take into consideration the strength of the weapons. I did look at the stat line. I did forget that they were up until 5, but I looked at the stat line, and I forgot that their weapons were higher strength, and it was definitely not my opponent's fault. He is new to 7th edition, really just getting back into 40k. He's not really been into 40k much in the first place. So relatively very new to 40k. And I should have caught it. It was 100% my fault, and I take responsibility. But people were quite upset They were quite upset. Some people even like, apparently there was a unsubscribing en masse thing going on. 4 or 5 people unsubscribed at the same time because of the battle reports. And just a sec. Sorry, Rubik was just barking at someone. This time of the day, this is when school gets out, and it's hard because I let Rubik run around the yard, and Rubik usually joins me in my workshop. But this time of the day, parents, we live close to a school, and the parents like to park just outside, like basically sometimes even over my driveway, which I've asked them not to, because it makes it hard to get out sometimes. And then my dog doesn't like it. So, yeah, you know, and I said I do my best, and if people don't like it, that is unfortunate. You know, I'm not gonna fight back. I'm not gonna be like, oh, my battle reports are amazing. You know, like there are many people that make good battle reports, and if you don't like mine, I respect that, and you can go elsewhere. You know, I appreciate people giving me to try. You know, try my work and see if they like it. That's all I can ask for. You know. My work is, you know, I know that my battle reports aren't for everyone. I don't play with the most competitive lists. I'm not the most cutthroat player, and some people want that. Most of those people are War Machine players, but still, you know, that's not me, and I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have a good time, and I'm gonna keep making battle reports. I'm gonna keep making them my way. You know, obviously, I do take criticism into consideration. You know, people have some great suggestions. I'm going to incorporate them, of course. You know, I'd be a fool not to. But I'm going to keep making battle reports. I'm not unfazed by it. It's unfortunate that people have gotten to the point where they're mass quitting and everything. But I think I might start making a video series. Maybe I'll make one tomorrow. Talking about Tactica. But it's not just Tactica. I'm going to call it like Tactica Talk or something like that, because I really like to deep strike my Terminators behind enemy lines. And every time I do that, there's always a comment about people criticizing my tactics. Now, a lot of time it doesn't work out well, but I still see it better than the alternative of starting on the table. And then people still say, well, if you're going to deep strike, you can deep strike 24 inches away. But really, there isn't much table available that is 24 inches away from my opponent. Right? If they move up 6 inches in turn 1, their center line is already, like, that already moves 24 inches pretty much to the table corners. And if you're going to deep strike onto the table corners, which is highly risky. Now, Belial, obviously, he doesn't scatter. Why? Why not just start on the table? Control exactly where they start. No risk of them falling off the table, mishapping, and dying. You know, you lose the twin linking, and that is unfortunate. But it's safer, you know. So if you're going to deep strike, if you're not going to deep strike, you know, if you're going to deep strike 24 inches away, start on the table side. Is my argument. That's my argument. I could be wrong. It could be faulty Tactica. You know, that's the thing about Tactica is Tactica. It's not rules. It's a strategy, and some strategies people disagree with because each person has their own way of playing things. And a lot of people keep saying, you know, let your opponent come to you, let the Deathwing shoot at them for a couple turns. But my can wall, like this was, let's take last week for example, with my Orc can wall. The majority of the Deathwings are like the ones my opponent played were Stormbolters, right? They all had Stormbolters except for one of them. Each squad had an assault cannon. Assault bolter, if you started 24 inches away, or deep struck 24 inches away from my can wall, and all you can see is my can wall. You started like 24 inches away from my can wall. The only thing you'll be able to shoot is my can wall. And Stormbolters do absolutely nothing against a can wall. Nothing. They don't do anything, because strength 4 on armor 11. Nothing. And even the assault cannons, right? They are hard to do much anyway because you need 3s to hit. So out of 4 shots, you probably get, you know, 2 or 3 hits. But then you need 6s to pen. And on top of that, I get a 5-up invuln because the way I run my cans, they're always near a custom force field. So if you want to just stay back and let me come to you for a couple of turns, I may just not come to you because your guns are 24 inches, but so are mine. And my cans have better guns. Can guns, 3 of them are custom Mega Blastas, which are Strength 8 AP2. Of course, they gets hot, but still, they, on each turn, you know, you'll get 2, about on average, you know, every 2 turns you get 3 wounds on them. So 3 wounds, and that will kill like 2 Terminators. Like on average, those 3 guns will kill a Terminator a turn on average. You know, and they'll kill them. So if you are going to deep strike away from me, I'm just going to shoot you. And my guns are good, right? They have 24-inch range just like yours. And Kill-A-Can guns versus, or 3 of them are Strength 8 AP3, 3 of them are Strength 8 AP2. They're a lot better against Terminators than the Terminator guns they are against them. So, you know, I do understand that strategy. If your opponent is just a pure assaulty list, right? That makes sense to me because then they're not going to outgun you from a distance. But very few armies these days are run that way. And on top of that, you know about the whole deep striking thing. If you're not going to deep strike behind enemy lines, most people have to realize, especially against orcs, if the orc player goes first, they move up 6 inches or run. So they've closed the gap to 12 inches. There is really nowhere on the table, or very few places on the table that you can deep strike that are 24 inches away from your opponent. At that point, like I'm gonna do this in a video. I'm gonna show people why, or my argument, and then we'll discuss it. You know, in a nice, professional fashion. But there's not that many places on the table. First of all, you can deep strike 24 inches away, and second. If you deep strike, let's say you choose an intermediate level, 18 inches, 17 inches, 15 inches away, orcs can catch you, right? All the orc player does is call the wah, and then they can move, run, and assault while re-rolling 1d6 of the distance, which puts their average threat range to like 18 inches, but up to 24. And yeah, so really, if you're going to deep strike 24 inches away, go ahead. There's not that many places that can do it, but if you're going to deep strike an intermediate level, 16, 17 inches, 18 inches away, I can still catch you after shooting you with my good guns. I can catch you, and it defies the purpose anyway. So, my argument... Sorry, Rubik keeps barking. So my argument is might as well just deep strike him behind your enemy, which forces them to, first of all, split their forces. Second of all, you get access to the rear armor of those Kill-A-Cans if you're going for the Kill-A-Cans. And third, you're going to get assaulted anyway. So you might as well choose the exact target you want. And then by putting yourself in closer, you kind of you can put yourself away from the crazy close combat guys. And keep yourself safe. And that's what my strategy's been. So I'm going to discuss this in a video. And I hope people will like it. So I'm going to be very professional. I'm not going to be attacky because each strategy is different. And some have pros and some have cons. And I realize that, you know. I really do. But, yeah. So, that's it. Battle reports. I'm going to keep making them. I'm going to try to... I put my heart and soul into every video that I make. You know. I don't like to make inferior products. I really don't. And I know it's not necessarily a cop-out saying that rule mistakes happen, but they really do. Our game has a lot of rules, and it's very rare that you see a battle report in my style, in the film, the whole turn style, that you don't see mistakes in. You know, I shouldn't compare myself to Mini Wargamer Dave, but Mini Wargamer Dave, you know, he makes great battle reports, I feel. His banner style I love. But his battle reports, until recently, had a disclaimer on them stating that, you know, prepare for rules to get wrong. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put one up, but I want people to take that in consideration, that it's hard. You know, our style of battle reports, I feel, are the best style. That's why I make them. I feel that they're my favorite style to make. I really love making them, and they're the best style for me, at least, and they're probably the ones I watch the most. You know, the post-turn ones are good too, but you don't get to see a lot of the strategy or a lot of the fun that goes into the game. So I like our turn. You know, nothing against those who make the post turns or any other format, but for me, I make the type I like the most. And I didn't paint this simple part. So the thing is, with when we show the whole turn, we have that problem that people, it opens us up, and they're much more vulnerable to mistakes, because unless you implicitly mention the rule that why something led to another event in a post turn, it's very hard to see. Like, if these people moved up, somebody says they moved up, they shot at them and assaulted them and destroyed them. You have no idea what weapon skill they played it at, what strength they played it at, what toughness they played it at. You know, you don't see that. So those battle reports probably had errors in them, but you never saw them because they don't show them, right? But our battle reports, mine, Mini Wargaming, Striking Scorpion, you know, we show the whole game. We are very transparent with our games. You see pretty much the whole game, minus like the individual banter and discussion of rules in between dice rolls and stuff. But there's a very, very clear picture of the game, how it was played, how each individual squad moved, why we did each thing. And that's what makes our games good, I find. But that's also what makes our games really prone to showing mistakes, right? And that's it. And that's not justification. Like, obviously, as I said, I know I make rule mistakes, and I do. And I want to make less rule mistakes. And I do honestly look at all the comments of my videos. I really do. I know that for next turn, next time I'm going to use the knights eventually. I got to pick up some knights. But next time I see Dark Angel Deathwing Knights, I know that their weapons skill 5, and that their strength 6, and that their toughness 5 when they're in shield formation. I know that comment. I read the comment, and I learned from the rules. I really do. The orc one, I made a mistake with my orcs. Now, orcs I know pretty much really well, but I made one mistake with my orcs. I misread the Hammer of Wrath rules, and I just misread it. And after that comment, I realized after it was actually during the game, I realized that it was a mistake. I looked back at it and I'm like, oh, they were supposed to get Hammer of Wrath. That's okay, because that comment was the one where I just wiped out Belial's squad. And in retrospect, the Hammer of Wraths, I would have gotten like 3 wounds. Maybe it would have failed one. But it didn't really have much of an effect on the game. So not too, you know. I don't know. As I said, it's unfortunate that people are unsubscribing, because I really want to make videos that people subscribe to. I want to become as popular as I can. And I'm going to try my best to make sure that every one of my battle reports is the best thing that I can make. Period. You know, I'm not cutting corners. I'm one of the few battle report makers out there that does the whole game, that has a scoreboard. You know, I have my own turn counters, which I find, you know, fun and comedic. So I do like my style, and I make the best I can, as I said. And I know some people like it and some people don't, and that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that. There's barking again. See, every 5 minutes Rubik barks. So I'm gonna make the best I can. I really do. So I would love to do this as my life job right now. I really do. And I need more views. That's it. So, but I have faith. I really do. I feel that I'm dedicated. I really do. So I'm not scared there. I feel that if I put enough time and effort into this, I'll be successful. Eventually, I'm going to hopefully even do 2 battle reports a week for free. That'd be awesome. If I get enough opponents, I could totally do 2 battle reports a week. And that would be great, because then I can double the battle report views a week. So that's the first part of my rant. As I said, it's just when you get a lot of negative comments within such a short period of time, it gets to you sometimes. You know, I'm really good at shrugging off negative comments sometimes, because it's the internet, and you know about, you know, if you can't handle negative comments, don't make internet videos. The garbage truck's here, so I'm going to try to keep Rubik in gear. So I'm just doing a little extra, basically. A little. It looks like lighting when you, a very quick glowing eyes effect. And when I dip them, it really mixes really well. So that's the first level of colors of green, and then I'm going to go with Moot Green. I just used Warpstone Glow. And I'm going to tell Rubik, you stay. Stay there. Rubik's an awesome dog. He's just a dog. You know, sometimes it's just he likes to bark at people when they come, like the garbage man or the mailman. So, he's a good dog. I like him. There we go. This next color, the Moot Green. Rubik. What was I saying? I don't remember. It's kind of funny. So, battle reports. You know, as I said, good things are to come. I really do feel that. I really do feel that. I think my battle reports are entertaining. Rubik is whining. Sit down. What's the 2 rules of show business? Don't work with dogs or kids. Or animals with kids, I mean. Animals or kids. I understand why. What else I want to discuss? My painting challenges. They're actually coming along well. I've really enjoyed them. They've gotten my butt back into gear. I haven't burned out at all. I haven't, you know, I figured by now I might have already started experiencing a painter's burnout. Seeing as, you know, I do a painting tutorial a week for the warp. And I do miniature painting, or 1 miniature painting. I've cut back the warp now to 1 miniature painting 101 a week, because I was getting so far ahead of the free content that it was getting silly. Like the video that went up this Monday, it's gonna air in May, or I think May, late May. I basically filmed all the miniature painting 101s up to May for the free content. So, yeah, I've definitely been working hard. Yeah, and I haven't burned out yet, and that's really good. I'm really happy about that. I thought it by now, as I said, I would have burned out, but it's good that I haven't. And at the end of this painting challenges, like this month's, I would have finished painting, it's going to be about 120 models, maybe 130 models. So there's 130 models that I didn't have painted before that are done. And they'll be used in battle reports and Tactica. And I really got to start Tactica series, but I really got to focus back on my How to Play 40K series. And it's going to come back, I promise. It really will. Maybe one of the options I am thinking about, people. So this is actually one of my questions to you in this video. All right, here's one of the questions I want you to ask. I want you to answer. So first of all, maybe instead of J vs. J battle reports, I should just spend a whole day focusing on and filming How to Play 40K series. This guy didn't have any greens done to him. I completely skipped him. So maybe that's a better option. So what would you guys prefer? Do you think I should, in your opinion, should I just not do J vs. J battle reports, cut them back a little bit, and then just focus on the How to Play 40K? Because that would get my 40K series really off the ground. But the thing is, it's a really requested series, which is really odd. This happens on several videos to me. It's a really requested series, but not a very watched series. I get all the time people asking about, you know, How to Play 40K. Easily a question every couple days. But the videos, if you combine all of my videos combined, I think there's 4 now, 4 or 5. If you combine all the views, right, and the videos haven't been out recently. A couple weeks is the youngest. Out of all the views, you get less than one of my medium to more popular battle reports. And even the J versus J battle reports, several of them have more views than all of them combined. So they're not. That's the thing, and that's the only downside is that's why Mini Wargaming has had to talk about this before as well, and Owen and I have just both mentioned this on our channels. Is that sometimes you unfortunately got to make videos that people watch, because if you don't make those videos, you don't make money. And it's unfortunate. But if you try to once you start trying to make this a business, or you start taking a business approach to it, you have to. It's why, for example, Mini Wargaming will always make 40K battle reports right now, because 40K is by far the most popular, and they know that. If they, it's true. And Matt has said this many times on his sit-in talks that when people request fantasy, he says, well, we're going to get to fantasy eventually, but it's not our top priority. And people say, well, why is it not your top priority? And he goes, well, because though it's highly requested from those who want to watch it, they're not well received. They're not watched a lot. Their views are, when I used to work at Mini Wargaming, the fantasy league views were much, much lower than the 40K views. And that's unfortunate, because you don't really want to make your content based on what people watch, but you have to in some perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't make content that people watch, you just don't get viewed content. So that's interesting. So what do you guys think? Do you feel back to... See, I'm just like ranting. This is fun ranting. Do you feel I should just stop making J versus J battle reports and go back to making How to Play 40K? And I just hope that... and the thing is, it actually doesn't take much longer to film a J versus J battle report than an episode of How to Play 40K. Because I can do a battle report blindfolded. I've done it so many times. Versus How to Play 40K, where I actually have to map out in my brain and how I want to film it, and then do all the filming and then editing, and it's a different character altogether. So it only takes maybe an extra hour, an hour's difference between How to Play 40K episode and a battle report. And the amount I make, or views-wise, is significantly higher on a battle report. So maybe that'll be a better idea. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it for a couple days, because my original vision had both of them. But hey, gotta think about it. I will continue to make the series. It hasn't been my priority the last couple weeks, just because I've been really busy. A lot of videos. I made a lot of videos the last couple weeks. I still have to put up my Cypher video. My Cypher video, I filmed it like a week ago. I just haven't edited it yet. I just got to put it together, and I did a review on Cypher. The Fallen. He's awesome. I'm going to get him. Yeah, next time I go to the local Games Workshop, I'm going to order it ahead of time and pick it up, because it's only available on web store only. By the way, Games Workshop has done that a lot lately. A lot of the guys are web store only. Most of the really cool independent characters that are Finecast, in fact, most Finecast altogether has been moved to, many Finecast models have been moved to web store only. That's unfortunate. Because then you can only, you have to pay full price, and you can only pick them up at a Games Workshop. In Canada, you have to order $75 minimum to get free shipping. And if you don't, let's say you want to order a $20 Cypher model, the shipping on the $20 Cypher model is $26. And that's a lot for a $20 model to pay equal. Like, I really love the new gaming mats from Frontline Gaming. Whatever it's called. Those gaming mats. But they're very expensive shipping. So one day when I have an actual 6x4 table and I can afford the shipping, I'll order them. So that's it. That was the guys. And I've lost track of time because of the amount of times I had to restart the takes because I don't want the barking to be in the takes. So I might as well dip them. Let's dip these guys, get them all done. It's going to be a little bit of nothing for a couple minutes because I've just prepared a dip. Get my dipping materials out. So here's the dip itself. I'm going to use Dark Tone from Quickshade. I need my dip model holder. I spilled sand all over the place. I spill sand frequently. I got that there. Where's my holder? Sorry, people. I didn't prepare the dip today, but I figured might as well. Once I've gotten to here it is. I just use a base with a bunch of sticky tack on it. So 4 models there, 5th model on top of here, and we'll work from there. Good stuff. So shake the dip. Shake it up. Shake it up. Up. Good. That's good. So yeah, I really love this painting challenge. It's got me off my butt painting wise. I wasn't a funk or anything, but what I would say is I'm fortunate that my wife has been busy a lot lately because I do love spending time with her as well, but she hasn't, so she's been working a lot, so it's good. I just get to paint. And in the end, I'm blasting through a lot of models that I just hadn't gotten to over the years. I have so many models. So many. And now I am dealing with them. And that's really, it has such a good feeling to attach. When when you're dealing with these guys that you've been wanting to deal with for a long, long time. And yeah. What's that Rubik outside? Because he's whining again. Dogs and babies in show business. Here you go, dude. Behave. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Oh. Here we go. I got my pliers. I'm going to use some dirty needle nose pliers. Some really dirty old ones. Because this is cool. You guys get to watch me dipping. Other thing I have to have prepared. Mineral spirits is the cleaning mechanism for your brush. So I got some mineral spirits poured. Ooh, fumes. All right, let's start dipping. I'm excited. So, I'll start dipping. Down here. All right. That's what I love about these Necrons. They're fun and really easy to paint. I can't complain about how easy they are to paint. I'll use, should I use my beat up brush? This one. Yeah, it's a beat up brush. So dip. So what I like to do with my dips, I use a combination of the flick and the dipping method. You know, one of them likes to just put your model on a base and then use your brush and put it on it. And the other one's a flicking method, which you dip it in and then flick it. I don't like the flicking method because it wastes a lot of dip and you pay for the dip. And if you guys have probably noticed that a theme of my videos has been don't waste stuff, because I don't like to waste stuff. If you pay money, I just spill some dip. If you pay money for this kind of stuff, you don't want to waste it because it's money. You know, and I don't know. So there we go. So we're gonna let it just. The next little while is gonna be fun because it's more like dipping with Jay for this painting with Jay. And then we'll take them, put them upright. Then we just let the dip settle to the bottom, and that's what happens. Is it settles right to the feet. And we're gonna take our beat up brush. I don't like that beat up brush. Okay, more beat up brush. No, that's too beat up. Sorry, I'm just looking for the beat up brush that I always use when I'm dipping. Let's use this one. No, that's my favorite. No, that's better. Oh, here we go. Beat up brush. So we're just going to even it out. So now you guys can see what I'm doing. So we'll move the dip aside. Put him on one of the pieces of sticky tack. All we're going to do is make sure that the feet are completely covered, because that's the one part that I always leave out kind of outside the dip when I'm dipping it. And then we're going to balance out the mounts. So the dips tend to pool in certain areas, and what I just do is I take it directly off the miniature and put it right back in the can. Because that way, when I am dipping them, I'm not wasting much. As I said, you don't want to waste this stuff. It's expensive, and the more you save, the more you get to dip. You get your money's worth, right? And that's it. There are not that many pull-up points. By pull-up points, I mean like if you're painting Space Marines, for example, the shoulder pads, you notice that they'll really pull up a lot there. So I like to just pull. It tends to pull around the feet because obviously gravity pulls it down. That's it. It's not too hard of a process. On the back, there you go. There's a little bit of a dip pooling right up there. I don't like that. We're just controlling the amount of the shade. This stuff tends to dry very, very shiny and very thick. It's like a tar-like substance. And to clean your brush, you have to use mineral spirits, of course, or white spirits, depending on where you live. If you live in Britain, white spirits. This video is brought to you by White Spirits. That sounds like a really, I don't know. If something was called White Spirits, to be honest, in real life, I don't know if you'd want to go there. But that's all I'm saying. There you go. We have a dipped guy. Look at him. He's dipped. He's good to go. That's he's a happy camper. Just I'm going to clean up the eyes a little bit because they tend to get a little bit too much in the eyes. And look at him. He's done. So he'll dry over the next, 24 hours. I usually do that at least 12 hours when I'm dipping. 12 hours at least. And then 12 hours. And then I'll take them off. And it depends. Usually if you like the shine, you don't do anything to them, but most people then hit it with another varnish, which is, whatever finish they want. So they want a more satin appearance, then they hit it with a satin varnish or a flat varnish. I like my Necron shiny because they're, metally. So they're good after this, and I will put basing materials on them. That's what I love about this. And I hope these videos do show people. I've had a lot of talks with some of the local Necron players. And I'm hoping these videos show how really you can get a decent... Now, this isn't obviously amazing show quality or anything, but you can get a decent tabletop army without the most amount of work or time. Now, and that's it. That's great. I really love these. I hope this encourages, the easiness of this process to... encourage people to paint, because that's a lot. People see the time that they have to spend on the painted army and they're like, oh, screw it. So, but that's it. It doesn't take a whole lot to get to with Necrons at least, it really doesn't take a whole lot to get to a nice tabletop level. For at least borders, but. What else? For painting challenges, I am going to keep doing them, obviously. Next month, I'm thinking it should be either War Machine, Hordes, or Infinity. I'm thinking it should be a side game, because I've been giving a lot of attention to 40k, and I agree with some viewers, because some viewers say I should just keep focusing on 40k. But I agree with the viewers that say I should maybe start focusing a little bit of my efforts in the other games. That way, it's not just one-dimensional. 40k, 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 which, some people just do 40k, 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 but a little bit of War Machine and Hordes wouldn't hurt anyone. And if I spent a month, maybe 25 points would be a good goal on, maybe I can get a Hordes army off the ground. Maybe not, I'll see. The thing is about Hordes armies, depends on how you want to play them. Because for 40, the thing is, what I do find, though, is War Machine especially, the amount of points does not represent how long it takes to paint a model. Some of the 1-point models in a 35-point game, or like half-point models in certain lists, are way longer to paint because I want to paint them to a decent standard, and it takes a long time to paint those dudes. A long time. And it's not very proportionate. It's like orc boys, right? The amount of time I spend on an orc boy versus how little points they're actually worth on the battlefield, not very proportionate. But I'll paint them nonetheless. Maybe. And then I'm thinking January and February. I'm thinking 2 months straight of Tyranids. Because Tyranids are getting love now. They're starting to get back the love that they deserved when they first got their codex. And, you know, I've realized I have a lot of monstrous creatures here that I need to paint up. I have an Exocrine, like 2 or 3 High Tyrants, a Swarm Lord. Excuse me. I can paint up the Moloch parts to convert my Trigons to Molochs. I have the new guy, which I'm going to paint as a Toxicrine. I've already ordered one of the pods, and I'm going to have to order more because the pods are so awesome. You know? That's it. I have a lot of models that I need to paint. And I think to be fair to the Tyranids, I think I might need 2 months. Because to paint all those guys in a month would be really, really hard. And the problem is with, they're the only army, Tyranids, they're the only army that because I paint a specific color scheme, I can't make a tutorial for every model. You know? I really can't. Because I can make, I've made 2 tutorials on my color scheme before. One with a Hormagon, one with a Turvagon. And that's it. I'm not going to make any more tutorials on my color scheme because it's the same color scheme. Same paints. Same everything, same steps, and I can't do that. So I get no advantage by making painting tutorials off my guys. Versus the other armies, like Grey Knights, and people really want more Grey Knight models, and they want more Dark Angel models. But I can make Dark Angel and Grey Knight painting tutorials. 2 birds, 1 stone. So, like I'm next month my goal is to make a Dread Knight painting tutorial. It'll probably be the Warp, we'll see. So that will mean a painted Dread Knight for my army. I already have a Dreadnought painted up for Grey Knights. And then Dark Angels, I have Azrael ready for a tutorial. And some bikes, maybe, for tutorials, we'll see. But Azrael will be a good tutorial. So there's more models. I can just use my painting tutorials and get them that way. And then that way I can use my painting challenges. And he's barking again. Okay, so this is going to be the most disjointed painting with Jay ever because of the amount of times I've had to be interrupted. But it's okay. Did the 4th guy. Make sure it doesn't pull up in that guy's eyes. Oops. Let's put him right back to where he belongs. This is very sticky stuff. Very sticky stuff. Another one dipped. Good. Maybe I dipped that one a little too aggressively. We'll see. So I'm thinking about that. I haven't decided yet, but I want to spend a little while with the Tyranids because the Tyranids need some love. As I said, the Dark Angels will get their love. Eventually as well. They just released a new Dark Angels kit as well. It's just an expansion, so it's not no new models, but it's just a new kit, and it's a good price. Has a flyer, which isn't the best flyer, of course, in the game, but still. Has the flyer, and I should probably show what I'm doing. Command squads, 2 command squads, which I'm thinking it might pick it up. We'll see. If I pick it up, I'll make the 1 command squad into a Knight squad for the Deathwing, and I'll make the other one into a Knight squad, or maybe a command squad for the Raven Wing. And then the flyer into the flyer. But there we go. Those guys are good. This is the newest guy that I dipped. He is pretty dipful. I should probably wear gloves. It's okay. You guys really can't see what I'm doing, so I should probably put him on a stand. Let's put him here. There we go. Look at him. My newestly dipped warrior. Man. And then maybe, just maybe, if my painting challenges go as well as I hope, and I continue to paint the amount of models that I've been painting. Like I've been doing, as I said, over 50 a month. Last month I did almost 80. If I do another, 50 this month, I will run out of models eventually, but that's probably a while away. But then maybe I'm thinking of eventually getting maybe back into commissions, just as a little side business, and then making them into tutorials. A lot of viewers have recommended that because then it'd be a good combination. I can make tutorials out of them. I don't have to charge a whole lot, and people would probably want them. I don't know. I'm not arrogant or anything, but maybe people will want me to paint their models. I did commission work for a while. It was fun. My biggest problem with doing commissions right now I want to paint my own models because I have so many models that I need to paint, as you guys can see in these painting challenges. So, and when I was commission painting, as you can notice, most commission painters don't have a lot of armies because they are spending all their time painting other people's models, and then they get burnt out, and they don't want to paint their own. It happens to a lot of commission painters. So, he's done. Another model, all done. So, that's the thing. When I'm getting to a point now where I'm actually like ahead, or when I've given my armies the respect that they deserved in the first place, I will start doing commissions again, I think. And I won't charge a lot for my commissions. I didn't charge a lot in the first place. But maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll see. Just do small commissions that I can maybe pump out in a week. 1 or 2 models. Even one HQ. It's a little harder for me to acquire the models now, seeing as many of them have gone GW only. But we'll see. That might be a good idea. Jaded Painting is the website's dead. I stopped the website because I didn't want to continue my commission painting in the short term, and it's really expensive. The websites get you with their entrance deals, I find. I use GoDaddy, and then the cost to maintain your website after you get it that first year is really expensive. So if I wasn't actually making any money off the commissions, I decided to let the website stop because it was just money that I could have dedicated to my videos and more models for my channel and everything like that. So why pay it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year to maintain a website that I wasn't using really. I think I kept the rights to the website name. Like right now I've rights to Jaded Productions. Which is cool. So right now I'm just removing the dip, putting it right back in the pot. This is a pretty uneventful painting with J, but it's been good. Whole 7 warriors are painted now because of this painting with J. 7 warriors is 90 points. I think they're 13 points each. So that'll be 90 points of my painting challenge. So 10% of my entire month's painting challenge done in this 1 hour video. That's not bad. Well, I still gotta base them, but basing won't take too long. They do need to dry for a while, which they'll be. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun playing Necrons. Another army, as I said, another stew army. If it was possible, I'd get one of every army. I love Dark Eldar eventually as well. I have Space Marines. I have Dark Angels at least, and Grey Knights, and eventually I'm gonna get a vanilla. Well, I already know what chapter Imperial Fists. Led by Lysander. So, and he's already painted, and he looks good. And I'm really glad. I like going with yellows, because going with yellow will force me to paint a color that I'm not the most comfortable with, and I don't paint often. Blues I'm very comfortable with, so that's why I didn't end up going with Storm Wardens, sorry. Just dipping, see? He's dipped. Ooh, look at the dip. Uh-oh. Spilled some dip over the corner. Dipping is sticky. It is like a gross, tarry substance, but it does save time. Army Painter. This video brought to you by Army Painter. So, well, this is the last guy anyway. I'll probably end it in a moment because this video might be getting long. I actually don't know how long the video has been because I've had to edit so many takes. Not edit, just film so many takes in a row to cut off the barking. It's easier just to stop the take and restart it as opposed to trying to find all the points in the video where the barking occurs. Once again, just let it drip out for a minute. Cool. Bring it to the stand. Give it the moment to settle, and then start brushing away. These guys will look good. They're going to kick butt on the tabletop. I'm excited. And of course, by the time I get familiar with the rules, there'll be a new Necron Codex. But it'll be good. I don't think they're going to get many new models. I think they're probably going to do what they've done with the other codices and very minimal new models. Tweaks the rules. Obviously, warriors are the staple of any Necron army, so I feel relatively safe painting them up because I know I'll be using them in many, many battle reports in the future. Dropped it. Lid. Just put it in front of it. Don't want it to go everywhere. But yeah, that's my blurb about the week. So, my big questions to you guys I would like to answer today is J versus J versus how to play 40k. I'm pretty sure the answer people want is 40k. And if that's the case, I will make some how to play 40k videos, for sure. You know, I will. Guaranteed. I want to finish the series. And then start Tactica. And then the other question is, what do you think? Should I dedicate December to a non-40k faction? You know, either War Machine or Hordes, Infinity, Malifaux, models that I do need to be painted, but they may not see as much film time because I need to find opponents. That might be good. Next question, I think, yeah, those are my big questions of the day, I think. And then eventually I should accept commissions. I think that will happen. Probably early next year sometime. But we'll see. You know, I don't know how I'm going to do it it'll be fair. First come, first serve. But then the scary part is I might become very backlogged quickly. Because if like 20 people say, oh yeah, I love you, and then I'm like, oh crap. But we'll see. So, Rubik is whining. Like normal. Let's finish the last guy up. This might be a long, epic video. So right now I'm just dipping again. Dipping, 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 dipping. Dipping. I'm happy. 7 Necron warriors done. That's a success if I have seen one. In one video, 1 hour, 7 Necron warriors. So how many more do I have left of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19 more. And at the end I'll have just over 40 painted. So that's not bad. Not over 40, over 60 painted. Well, 60 should be enough. At least for a few games. You know, squads of 20. I did try a squad of 20 last week in a battle report. I know it was a J versus J, but still. 20, besides squads of 20 are relentless. Oh my goodness. They don't have relentless, but I mean, they are relentless. It's just nuts. Try to take down a squad of 20. Even if you try to force a leadership check, they're leadership 10. You have to kill 5 to force a leadership check, and then the odds are with a resurrection orb, half of them get back up again. So to kill an actual squad of 20, you got to do a whole lot of wounds. Right? Because it's insurmountable how many wounds. The only way to do that is to basically, to destroy the squad, is you got to wipe them out in close combat and catch them. Because they're at low initiative. So if you can, you know, beat the squad in close combat, and then you catch them in close combat, and they just get, you know, wiped out. They don't come back again. They all just die. That's the way. Shooting-wise, it would take an insurmountable amount of wounds, you know? If you kill 5, they'll pass their leadership check, and then 3 get back up again. So they're at 18. You kill another 5. Once again, they go down to 13, then 2 or 3 will get back up again. You'll be up to 16. So you've killed 10, and only 4 are dead. 4 or 5 are dead. If your opponent runs through a hot streak, you're in trouble. There we go. Look at that. The last one is dipped. So in 20, or probably tomorrow sometime, I'll start the next batch of 6 or 7. And I will base these guys. By that point, they'll be dry. And good to go. And then I have 7 more warriors, thanks to this awesome series. Yeah. So it's all done. And we'll continue that next video. So that concludes this episode of Painting with Jay. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have anything to add to this discussion. Any of the questions I put forth today, feel free to answer. I do love your opinions, and I do respect them highly, and I will do my best to make sure that I abide by them. Besides that, yeah, things are good. I'm going to keep making videos, and I'm very happy. I'm as happy as always. I'm painting, and I've gotten so much work done. That makes me happy. Putting out videos makes me happy. So, and this video will be up today, and that'll make me happy. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Painting with Jay. Stay tuned for more videos, and please like the video. Tell me what you thought about it, and hope you got some work done too. So stay tuned for more videos. Till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting with Jay.